Hey everybody, Goosebumps for Dummies here, and today I'm going to be reviewing Monster Blood, the TV episode from the 90s show. This is approaching 30 years of age as it aired in November of 1996, so not even a year from now, this will be 30 years old. This is an episode I remember fondly from my childhood. I've watched this one probably like 30 times, and yes, I rewatched it going into this video. My thoughts are pretty much the same, because this is one that has been very consistent in its quality over my many rewatches of it over the years. My DVD looks like shit, too. You can even see a big dent there. It's got a bunch of scuffing. The case, the plastic is pretty dirty, so I probably should get a new one. But that's besides the point. This episode is somewhat iconic for being a Season 2 episode. Mostly because, obviously, it's based off one of the more popular Goosebumps stories and Spooky Slime Monster. So let's review it. And now for the very, very short summary. Monster Blood 1, because there is a sequel episode that is exclusive to the TV show. It's not based off Monster Blood 2, the book. Visiting his weird Aunt Catherine, Evan finds a dusty can of monster blood that's green and slimy and starting to grow. That's it. Yeah, so Monster Blood's episode is really darn good. Yeah, this one has been very consistently good. I think it holds up decently well. Of course, if you're in the mood to watch it. And whilst there's some dated stuff in this episode I'll get into in my negatives, overall everything else is just really good quality for what it is. Some of the more technical stuff about this episode, like the directography and the soundtrack, are really darn good. I think the directography is really good overall. There's a nice, this is my favorite sequence, I guess, in the episode, flashback sequence to Aunt Catherine and her history with Sarah Beth, who we'll get into in a minute. That is really well directed. There's also a lot of generally just good directing in this episode. And the soundtrack, immediately from the get-go, is just great. There's a lot of good cues, a lot of good pieces in this episode, but I hope it may eventually get released, because they're really good. I don't know who did this one in particular. I know Jack Lenz didn't do all the soundtracks for Goosebumps. I'm assuming he did have cooperation with this one, because it does sound similar to his other stuff. But yeah, really good soundtrack, really liked it overall. And Aunt Catherine, another highlight. She is literally the highlight character of the episode, like how some movies that might have a lower budget might hire a really popular actor or actress. I don't know if this actress is popular. I don't even know her name. I'll pop up an IMDb actor listing, hopefully. But she did a great job being the highlight of the episode. She's kooky. She's fucking weird. I love her stupid directing joke where conducting. Where she's conducting an orchestra that isn't there. It's so goofy. Yeah, love that. And vice versa, Sarah Beth. She's this weird-ass villain character who gets revealed in the final few minutes of the episode, and she is actually seen throughout the whole thing, which I think is really cool. Of course, this is the same thing as the book, so my spoilers for the book. She's the cat, and I like that twist in itself. This is already adapting a good story, which I forgot to mention. I do really like the original Monster Blood story, and this does do it faithfully, almost. It does exclude, like, there's some bully characters in that book. Not Conan, he's in the sequels only, I believe. But those bully characters are very unnecessary, and they're not even in here, so cool. Good job, episode. But yeah, I think this is a really good adaptation of that book, and a very good and faithful one, which is good, because the story is good. Sorry if that sounds complicated, but you get the idea. I really like that book, so it being faithful to a good book helps this book, be good. And again, with Sarah Beth, her twist is great. I like the reveals of her, and her defeat is very ironic, and I just really like her character for what little we get of her. She's weird, but fun. The acting overall in this episode is decent. There's always those little bits where these child actors and actresses aren't doing a fantastic job, where it's a little over-delivered or under-delivered. But I don't think that's a big deal because they are child actors, it's whatever. Sometimes it's awful, like Vampire Breath, that episode. Whenever I get to it, I'm gonna have a fucking field day because that one's acting's terrible. No, this is not bad at all. I think this is just pretty standard, good, decent acting for the series. And my final highlight is, well, the Monster Blood. It's cool. It's slimy. But it's also got some issues. The fucking CGI. Yeah, I think I've made my point. The CGI is extremely dated. And, I mean, there's times where it's passable-ish, but most of the time, and there's a lot of shots of CG in this episode, it's pretty bad. Well, I do think there's a good few that parallel it where it's actually really good. Like, the Monster Blood can look either really good or really shitty, Like, the big final scene where it's pouring out of the kitchen window, I think that looks good. That looks great. for Goosebumps standards in the 90s, you know? But there's also instances where it's going in the bathtub where it's like, oh god, that doesn't look very good. You know, it's just super duper dated. There's even the scene where Sarah Beth, the cat form, transforms into her normal human form. And that looks like dog shit. So it kind of makes it hard to watch in a way. I'm trying to be nice because I know this was a 90s production. It's not going to look great in retrospective, but it's just the fact. It looks like crap most of the time when it goes to CGI. So, yeah. And, yeah, that's really my biggest issue here. So let's get to my rating. And now for rating this sucker, I'm going to give this episode a 9 out of 10. I could give it a 9.5 as it's a very, very strong 9. No, it's leaning on a 9.5, and it could just depend on the day. But for now, I'm leaving it at 9. It's not a perfect episode, but I don't really have anything to duck about it or say it's heavily flawed at all. It's just a really solid production here, and I think it is a very fun watch. On the fright meter, I was a little iffy here if I wanted to do a 3 or 3.5. I'm going 3.5 strongly because I have a phobia of slime, and especially sentient slime. It really messes with me. Obviously, if you... Now, my favorite horror movie is The Blob, the 1988 one. There's a reason that one is... that's fucking scary. And this, I mean, it's nothing compared to it, but still, spooky slime. I'm shitting my pants. Though it only comes in the back half, really. And Shunky approved, no duh. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode review. And leave your own thoughts on this episode down below. Maybe tell me which one you want me to see me review in the future. Maybe I'll actually listen, I don't know. I still have a lot of episodes left to review. I'm trying to save more of the 2-parters for later, but I'll get to one probably within the next few, you know. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.